Nah, you good, man? You good? Like I said, something new for all of us. I literally just started to stream too.
Oh, that's
Um,
what's up. That's good then.
let me
What is he doing?
let me get on my phone as well. Let me share this to. All right. Let's get this bad boy started, man.
Okay.
First, man. Um, we're just gonna talk about a little bit of football. Let's talk about some NFL recaps. Did you watch that game today? The Cowboys versus the Giants.
We're watching some of it right now, my guy.
This is it over it yet?
No, no, no. It's in the third quarter right now. Right now, Dallas is up 17-12. The Giants are driving though, but they got a long, they got a third and 14 that they got to get through to. No, actually, it's the fourth quarter. It just started the fourth quarter. My bad.
We'll start for
They got
quarter.
a
What's
yeah,
the score?
17-12 Dallas. But
Dallas.
it looks like the momentum has kind of went to the Giants, especially if they could find a way to cap off this drive with some points. Even if they get a field goal, it's still putting the pressure on Dallas. And you know Dallas like Dallas. So we'll
Oh,
see.
okay. All right. That's
Yeah,
cool.
man.
I mean, yeah, I think Dallas should win this. If I put money on it. Uh, but yeah, I think Dallas should win this anyway.
Hopefully they win for you so they get some money. Would you go against the spread or would you do?
No, I said I would put money on it if Dallas would win. I didn't put no money on this one. I'm trying to chill back from gambling so much. So
Man, I feel you,
I've been winning, been losing, but it's a gamble.
man. It's exactly that, bro. That's why you know me. I want to get into gambling on these games, but you know me. I don't gamble. But
Any
uh,
key NFL games you watched in the
I
past week?
think I think some of the key games that I watched was definitely that Saints and Eagles game. That game was very
Mm,
important for the Eagles for sure. They
hmm.
needed that win more than anything, especially playing a team like the Saints, who basically put up like I think what was it like 70 points in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, the
So
Saints
play,
put. Yeah.
yeah. So well, man, no, actually more than that, almost like over 80 points the last 2 weeks because what was it 47 and 40.
Hmm.
So you play a team like that, of course, to go in their building because that's their first. I think that might have been one of. I think that might have been the Saints' first home game. So for them to beat them in in the dome, I mean that's a huge win for the Eagles, especially when it wasn't really looking good for them at all. So definitely a
Yeah,
big win for them.
yeah, and I think the big standouts to me, like, all right, Giants beat the Browns. I wasn't expecting the Browns to be that good, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Um,
overrated.
Packers beat the Titans. Of course, that's gonna happen. Uh, Colts beat the Bears.
Hmm.
Vikings are hot right now. Right now, what they beat the
Absolutely.
Texans. I like what Sam Donald's doing over there. C.H. Stroud still doing his thing too, but
Quick question:
the,
if you feel like the season ended today, do you feel like Sam Donald's MVP of the league right now?
no, no, no. Just because we know what Sam Donald's been doing in the last years, like he's playing well. He's playing well. Let me actually look at his stats. He's playing really well. I just think
Who
that
who you think's playing better than him right now?
that's a good question. Out of all the quarterbacks, Josh Allen.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say other, other yeah. That was the only
It's
one I was gonna say, but I
yeah, it's like
mean, yeah, Josh
it's,
Allen is.
but Mahomes is not playing bad at all. There's a big controversy right now about Travis Kelsey and is he distracted and all that good stuff, and I don't think that's the case. I think most of the time I'm watching the film and I'm seeing that Travis Kelsey's open, but Patrick Mahomes has already thrown the ball out. Like the ball's already gone. He's already
Right.
threw it to somebody else. And then the times where they try to get Travis Kelsey the ball, he's being triple teamed. Like this man's being double covered, triple covered. He's they're game planning for him. I'm not really watching a lot of Travis Kelsey and watching a lot of Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not really worried about him at all. Just because Travis Kelsey is going to find ways to win. As long as this team wins, he don't really care if he gets his
Right.
touches, but they gonna find ways to win. I'm not really worried about uh the Kansas City Chiefs, man, but got something to keep my eye on. The Eagles beat the Saints. The Saints suck. I ain't gonna lie, man. They
You think?
suck.
Now you think the Saints suck? I think the Saints are really good this year, man. I think they about to prove a whole bunch of to a whole bunch of people this year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, prove me wrong, please. But I haven't seen anything that was like, all right, Saints are a really good team. Like they had their last score. They scored three in the first quarter and a field goal, and then they scored a touchdown and a field goal in the fourth.
Hmm.
Against the Eagles, and the Eagles still came out and win. And the Eagles didn't even score until the fourth quarter. They scored 15. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, they could have won that.
But
Uh,
you gotta look at it like this too, though. The Eagles played a lot of keep away from them with Saquon. They couldn't really
mm,
the Saints couldn't really stop Saquon. I mean, Saquon is Saquon for a reason, but
yep.
they definitely couldn't stop him. And I think that was he's the one who actually won them that game, man. The Eagles
Yeah,
and Goddard too. They Goddard did really well too. So
yeah, and I got Saquon on my fantasy, so we'll talk about fantasy in like the later hours and later minutes. Man, I got some stuff to talk to you about that. Actually, I'm playing you this week too, which is a funny thing, but we'll
yeah.
hold that for later. Uh, the Broncos beat the Buccaneers. I don't know. The Broncos was doing what I expect them to do. I thought they had all the pieces together. I
Hmm.
thought they would play really well this year. So far, they're
Hmm.
1-2.
Hmm.
Um, Buccaneers, I just thought they'll be a little bit better, but you know,
Hmm.
it's still like I mean they're 2-1, but I didn't
Hmm.
expect them to lose that game. I actually put money on that game and I lost. So it is what it is. Hey, the Panthers got their first win with Andy Dalton.
They definitely did, man. They definitely did. And not
What?
only that, they wiped them too. It was what
Yep.
33-7 or something.
It's
So
36-22
yeah, man.
at the Raiders' home. Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
god! And I seen in the chat everybody was talking about what's the quarterback there the black
Bryce Young.
dude Bryce
Bryce
Young, and they
Young.
was talking about Bryce Young and everything.
Hmm.
And, and I seen it in the chat, but I was like, all right, I'm not gonna really speak on it because I don't really know what Bryce Young's going through, to be honest with you. And I didn't watch enough of his film to actually even have a articulate time to talk about this man because I don't even know. All I see was on social media, and I don't really believe half of the stuff I see because I
Hmm.
don't believe a lot of people that cover, it, especially if I see it on Facebook, TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram. Unless I see him come out and have a discussion, talk about it, like, hey, this is what's going on now. I'm like, all right,
Hmm.
man. But
So
I'm
I'll give you a
go
little
ahead.
bit of thought I'm sorry, I feel like I interrupt you. I
No, go
apologize.
ahead. Talk.
But I wanna give you a little bit of like I guess because I have actually watched Bryce Young like with
Uh
a
huh.
really good eye and I've really been paying attention to him.
Talk to me.
Uh, and and some of the things with Bryce Young, some of the issues with Bryce Young coming out of college were, his height, one of them, him being small, um, being able to be injured a lot more, and then
Mm-hmm.
his arm strength, right? Where those
Mm-hmm.
are some of the concerns that he had coming out of college, and those are some of the same concerns with him being in the league. Now, with again, the Panthers aren't really the best team, right? They don't really have the
Mm-hmm.
best pieces around him,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also the model that I would say of starting a quarterback early, and in the Panthers case, I totally understand it because they don't really have anything there, and they were kind of in the pressure to win and win
Mm-hmm.
now, especially with like new ownership and everything, new GMs and everything, and they just have a revolving door, so they just have this pressure to win.
Mm-hmm.
With Bryce Young kind of coming into that situation, of course, that's what they drafted him to do is to put him in there to win. But you
Mm-hmm.
could clearly tell when watching Bryce Young that he's just not at this moment in time, just not ready. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Like some of the balls come out late. You could tell some of especially if you don't have the type of arm strength that he has. Kind of like if you think about it, like for instance, like Joe Burrow, he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have the strongest arm. He has a strong arm, but he doesn't. It's not like a Josh Allen, Mahomes, Matthew Stafford type of arm, or Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, an Aaron Rodgers type of arm. But what he
Mm-hmm.
does have is impeccable timing and being
Mm-hmm.
able to move in the pocket, and that's something that Bryce Young, if you just watch him, he just doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have. And with him not having that, and then with him not having the accuracy too, like some of the things even coming out of college, he was supposed to be very accurate, but he
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been in the league. Some of those windows get a little bit tighter when some of these receivers aren't wide open.
That's
So,
true.
like being able to watch him, you could just clearly tell that he, like at this moment in time, he's just not ready. And maybe taking a seat for maybe a week or two, or maybe even the rest of the season, to be honest with you, just to keep him from being hurt, might just
Mm-hmm.
do him some good to just come back next year whenever the Panthers may have a little bit more pieces just to help him out. Because right now, with them not even having pieces and him not actually being ready, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
recipe for disaster.
Yeah, yeah. To add on what you said, what Saban said about him, because everybody asked Saban what he thinks. What Saban said about him was like, "Hey, he's gonna get this thing fixed." And then everybody that was talking, trash on him, stuff like that, they gonna regret their words because he said he's a student of the game. He's gonna learn. He's gonna fix it. He also said the same thing you said was they don't really got the pieces, I mean, around
Hmm.
him to make successful. Like Andy Dalton's been in multiple situations, so he knows how
Yeah.
to maneuver in multiple situations. So, but I feel like Bryce Young's still gonna be their quarterback. And if he is, I'm good. If he goes somewhere else, hey man, one man's trash, another man's treasure. You feel me? Hey,
Right.
we know that from Justin Fields. But hey,
Hmm.
I'm gonna say the Steelers to the like to the end after we go through these recaps. But
Okay.
hey man, I do want to talk about them Steeler boys. Uh, the Ravens beat the Cowboys. I didn't watch that game.
Okay.
Uh, but Dak Prescott threw for he was 28 for 51, 379 yards and two TDs.
Hmm.
And Derrick Henry went for okay, yeah, Derrick Henry did go off. He had 25 carries, 151 yards, and two touchdowns.
Right.
Whoa. That-
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry had himself a first half. I like a lot of that was in the first half
mhm,
because they were just up on those guys. They got because I ended up watching it. I was watching the game and they ended up getting up on them real early, especially with Lamar Jackson too. With him being able to put the
mhm,
ball on the ground, they didn't really have an answer for what anything the Ravens were doing. And then in the second half, to be honest with you, the
mhm.
Ravens really just took their took their foot off the gas
They
and
started they
kind of
started coasting, huh?
started coasting and almost actually in almost Ravens fashion, almost gave it the game because that's what these last few years, that's what they've been doing. They've been giving up games where they've been leading and just taking their foot off the gas. And that's how Dak was able to even in the third and fourth quarter, even though most of those stats were empty calories on how they were able to come back. But
Mhm,
um, to be honest with you, like even for them to even get that close, the Ravens had to take their foot off the gas. And even at the end of the game, Lamar had said something about it, like being, I wish they would have been able to, put their foot on the gas a little bit more. So hopefully for them, the Ravens, it works a little bit. It starts to click for them. Um,
mhm,
you know, I know they got another tough game next week. I think who they play the Bills.
mhm,
So I think on Sunday night. So we'll see. We'll really see what they're all about. I think that's might be a home game for them. So we'll really get to see what they're about next week. But as far as this week goes, Dallas had a lot to think of, and hopefully it look like they're about to try to turn it around in this game.
yep.
But
Ravens play the Bills at 7:20 or Central, but 8:20 Eastern. So
okay, they
should be a
playing? Do they
highlight
play
game.
them in? They play them in Buffalo or do they play them in Baltimore? I think it's in Baltimore.
And in Baltimore. Remember,
Okay,
the
yeah,
spread right now on that is 2.5
two and a half in
total.
Baltimore.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of stay away from that game.
Yeah, I'm not touching that bad boy.
Wouldn't touch that game. But we'll really get to see what the Bills are like, and we really get to see what the Ravens are like because them going down 1-3, especially in the division that they got,
Hmm.
especially with the Steelers next week, they play the Colts. The Colts
Hmm.
offensively don't really look too good.
I'm going
So
to that Colts game too.
you going? Oh man,
Hmm.
that's awesome.
I'm about
So
to. We driving up there. Me and wifey. We heading out early. Got
mhm,
tickets. It's time to go and make that field a active short stadium. You feel me?
yeah, that'd be
uh,
cool, man.
yeah. The next game I was gonna talk about was the Rams and 49ers. Rams ended
Yeah,
up winning this 27-24. I was like, I mean, I was thinking like, is the everybody on the 49ers just hurt? It's like, is that
yes.
it?
That played a part, but the 49ers were up in that game and they kind of let
Yep.
that game slip. It was really, as
Hmm.
honestly as Matthew Stafford game. He
Hmm.
just he just there's moments in time where Matthew Stafford just shows like he's a Hall of Famer, and it was just
Hmm.
one of those days. It was just one of those days where he showed that. Um, Sean McVay put in a good second half, calling
Hmm.
those plays, and Matthew Stafford executing those plays, and um, shout out to them though. But definitely right now the 49ers are hurt, but the Rams are. I mean, as long as you have a quarterback like that, there's not too many quarterbacks that are better than Matt Stafford even now. So as long as you got a quarterback like that, it's always gonna keep you in the game.
Do
And
you
Brock
think?
Purdy had a good game too. So just
Yeah, he did. He had 20.
understands.
He was 22 for 30, 292 yards and three TDs. So
Hmm.
that man was cooking. Do you think Matthew Stafford got what it takes to get the Rams to the playoffs?
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
he did it last year. So I mean, I think he'll be able to do it again this year. Especially when they start getting everybody back. I know right now Puka Nakua, I think he got a couple more weeks on IR.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also got Cooper Cup. He got a couple more weeks, and then he'll be back. But once he gets all his weapons back, as far as offensively, and then that defense is going to keep gelling. I mean, it's going to take a matter of time for them. They also got pieces on that side too that are really good. So once they get everything rocking and rolling, I think that they'll be a formidable opponent. They might not win the division because the 49ers I think are just a way better team, even though they lost that game to them. Of course, everybody on their team is injured as well. But once they
Mm-hmm.
get all their full complements back, 49ers I think win that division. But I do not I can't I'll be hard pressed to not see the Rams in wild card, contention.
All right. See if you can see this bad boy. Uh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See it?
All right. Bet. Yeah. And then the Lions in the Cardinal game, uh, Kyler Murray is actually playing decent, but Jared Goff, he I don't know. As soon as he went to the Lions, man, that man's been balling. Like the first year on the Lions, they didn't put everything together, but after that, the second year, that man's playing. He playing for some big money. So I like
Yeah,
what he's
man.
doing.
And he gonna get it. I think he's gonna get it up there. I think he found a home. I think he found the right offensive coordinator and Ben Johnson up there in Detroit. They've been doing a real good job. Dan Campbell being a coach for them. I think it's just the
Hmm.
right person, right fit. With that trade, I mean, they both are winners. I mean, of course, the Rams I think are ultimate winners because they ended up winning the Super Bowl. But just even for what Jared Goff has been able to do for the Lions these last few years has been tremendous. Being able to get them to what is it, an NFC Championship game he got them to last
Hmm.
year. So being able
Hmm.
to get them to an NFC Championship game, hell, they even beat the Rams last year in the
Hmm.
playoffs. In a home playoff game. So just to see what Jared Goff has been able to do, what Ben Johnson's been able to do up there as an offensive coordinator. Aiden Hutchinson for the Lions. I think he
Hmm.
actually leads the league in sacks right now with 6.5.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, Detroit's going to be a tough out. They're going to be really good this year, and even with the Cardinals too. With with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. looking like every bit of the number two pick in the draft. Uh, looking like every bit of that right now. So yeah, I think they're going to be they're going to be good as well. I think it's going to take time for the Cardinals because they still need pieces, especially on that defense. That defense is going to need a lot more. But yeah, they should be straight.
Yeah, yeah, Marvin Harris Jr. He's a dog, man. I was watching him. I was like, all right, why is this man so special? Then I started watching his film, watching his college tape. I watched a couple of his interviews. I was like, yeah, he's dominated everywhere he went. It's he's real. He's real, man. So all you gotta do is get the ball, throw it in his
Yeah.
vicinity. He's gonna be all right. He's gonna be one of them breakouts. People will try to compare him to Jefferson, but I don't. I feel like he has the capability to do that, but I feel like I gotta see a little bit more before I start comparing them to other people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And maybe he
See, I
just
don't.
go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead. I don't see him as a Jefferson. I think
Hmm.
Jefferson for him, the comp with Jefferson, Jefferson just has more wiggle inside of his routes.
Hmm.
So like, not saying that like, um, I would actually if you would have a more, I guess a more of a comp would be more of like a Devonte Adams.
Hmm.
He doesn't have the release of Devonte yet, like being able to release from the line. But as
Hmm.
far as like the vertical type of skills that Devonte gives, he has
Hmm.
those same type of vertical skills. So
Hmm.
more like a T Higgins at this moment in time. Like, but you could also tell like the way he's able to separate because he's not the fastest, but being able to see him separate from DBs and being able to
Hmm.
make tough contested catches, you can just
Hmm.
tell like that kid gonna be special, especially whenever he figures out how to get off the brakes. Um, so he's not Justin Jefferson yet. I don't see that yet. I don't even see that in his like DNA, but
Hmm.
because I don't think he has the fluidity that Justin Jefferson has just yet.
Mhm.
But it's going to come a time when he's going to be the best receiver in the league, him and Neighbors. And if
Mhm.
you got a chance to watch Neighbors, man, have you got a chance to watch Malik Neighbors?
No, I didn't really watch him too much.
Oh man,
He's been balling.
oh man, oh
Yeah,
man,
special talent.
he's special, bro.
Yeah, I gotta watch McNabb. I haven't really watched him. The biggest thing I've been focusing on, I've been watching a lot of college
Hmm.
and in the Stiller game, and we can get to the Steelers beat the Chargers, you know.
Hmm.
And I feel like also talk about receivers. I feel like George Pickens going. He has the potential to be one of the best receivers in the league.
Yes.
Um, I just think our offense, we just went back to old school offense, bro. We just like, yo,
Yes.
run the ball, stop the run, like, and then we'll get you your touches here and there. But and also, when Justin Fields coming into his own, and I think we have a good quarterback room to where like if Justin Fields ain't getting the job done, Russell can come in. But the biggest question I want to ask you: do you think Justin Fields should keep starting?
Uh, yes. At this
Okay.
moment in time, I don't think that he's on a heater. You gotta
Mhm.
if there's going to be a change, you're gonna have to wait for the bye week to do that. Um,
Mhm.
but at this moment in time, it's of course, with Russell Wilson being named QB1 at the beginning of the season, of course you do want to see him get a shot just to see what the offense will look like,
Mhm.
especially um, if Justin Fields, one of the things I guess one of the only criticisms I have of him, he's not pushing the ball downfield as of yet. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I do understand why he's not. You
Mhm.
don't want to create those turnovers, especially if your defense is going to look the way that it does. You do not want to create those turnovers, and I guess we'll get to the defense later. But
Mhm.
um, as far as his skill set is going, I mean, he's been everything that the Steelers have wanted, everything and more, everything that you could think of, from what they have wanted to get out of Justin Fields, even being their backup. So
Mhm.
with that happening at this moment in time, I think that he should still start. I think that if there's going to be any type of decision that's going to be made, you wait till the bye week to do it, especially him starting on a 3-0 start. But I would
Mhm.
definitely try to encourage him, especially with a guy like George Pickens, to definitely try to stretch the field, because if you got a talent like that, you just got to throw it up and see what happens at times.
I think that's what he's been doing. I think the first game with the Falcons, he did that. He just threw it. He's like George Pickens is out there somewhere. George Pickens was actually, I remember the one route he was running. He was like, it wasn't a fade, it wasn't a post. It
Mhm.
was like a straight route, and he's fighting with the dude. And I guess somebody he heard ball, and he turned around. The ball's to the right side, like the dude's on the left side. He turns to the right, looked over his right shoulder,
Mhm.
seen the ball, contort his body, caught that bad boy, and got the first down and a huge chunk of change. So I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, just throw the ball to Pickens. But to say what you did, say what you just said, I totally agree. He just need to just do his job, man. Get us close enough to where we can get into touchdown range, but don't turn the ball over. Don't get no, easy sacks. And then he got that the running aspect too. I like that. He get the
Mhm.
ball, he can just run. Russell Wilson's not running, bro. He'll take a sag or he'll throw that bad boy away. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think you should stay with Fields, just for right now, and just let him grow, man. I feel like that's one thing that he wasn't growing with the Chicago Bears. The first thing he was
No.
doing was just like, "Hey, I'm reacting to everything. I'm reacting." But sometimes, like as a quarterback, man, you got to start reacting. You got to start attacking these bad boys. Like you see how that's why Aaron Rodgers is so good. He's like, "Hey, man, y'all might be coming me, but I'm coming after y'all right now." You know what I mean? So when you start attacking the defense and taking what they give you, you're gonna be a deadly boy. But let's talk about our defense, man. The Steelers defense. Let's. I want to pull up the stat. Uh, team stats. Let's go stats. Let's go team. And I was looking at this, and oh, it's a little big. There we go. I was looking at this. I was like, yo, we are yards allowed the number one defense, man.
Hmm.
That brings back so many good memories. I love when the Steelers are like the number one defense, man. It just, I feel like everything's right in the world when the Steelers are playing good and they're at least in the top two of the AFC or yeah, or in our division because our division's so tough. We got a lot of good teams
Right. Last year was the first time that I think one of the first times that every team in our division
and turnovers.
over 500 last
Yep,
year.
yep.
The
And I think
first
we
time
all
that's happened in so many years. I forget.
I think we all made the playoffs. If I don't from that recall.
No, the Bengals didn't make it.
Bengals, yeah, Bengals,
The
yeah,
Bengals didn't make it.
yeah. Joe Burrow, yeah. I'm not. Let's not even talk about the. I mean, we could talk about the Bengals, but do you think? Do you think? Do you think everything's falling apart in Cincinnati?
No, but I also think that the schedule didn't. I mean, they should have won the first game against who was that? The Raiders. They should have
Yeah,
beat the Raiders.
let's look at it.
Um, who they play in the first game?
They lost to the Patriots, lost to the Chiefs,
Patriots. That's
and
who it
lost
was.
to the
They should have
Commanders.
beat New. They should have beat New England. Um, I don't know if they would have beat the Commanders because I
Mm,
just think that they just ran up against a buzzsaw and Jaden McDaniels or Jaden Daniels.
hmm
Um, I think they really ran up against a buzzsaw with that. I mean, you can't really predict for that, and you can't really see for that. But that's just one of those games you got to chalk it up to. So that makes that Patriot game so much, harder. I mean, the Chiefs game was the Chiefs game. They always play the Chiefs hard, but
hmm
ultimately they usually lose to them.
hmm
So um, that is regardless, that's still going to be a hard game for them. Period. But
Yeah.
just
And-
to have those three, and then that's not even the toughest part of your schedule yet. I'm not gonna say they're in shambles, but I also say they're on rut watch. Like
mhm.
like Scooby Doo, like they're on rut watch.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? When you worse than Cleveland, I mean, after 3 weeks, I mean, that's not
yeah.
too good, man. And then who do they play next week?
They
They play the
play.
Panthers next week, right?
Yep, Panthers.
Yeah. So and then that's coming after Andy Dalton. They had a game.
hmm
So
hmm
just really, this is supposed to be the easy part of their schedule, and yet look what they're going up against. So you
Yep.
never really know. I wouldn't say they're in shambles, but because of course who they have at quarterback, but
They're close to it.
they
It's
close to it. Yeah,
like it's too close for comfort right now because
yeah,
especially if you notice in the National Football League, a lot of these games come down to like one possession games, man.
yeah,
Like
man.
some games be
Hmm.
blowouts, like that Buffalo game against Jacksonville.
Jags, yeah.
But other than that, and I don't know what the Jackson. I was watching Jackson. I was watching it because I got Josh Allen on my fantasy, and I was like, oh, all right, okay, Josh Allen, I see you. I see you doing that. But the defense, bro, they wasn't. I don't know if they were playing cover two or man, but they were just getting cooked whatever they was playing, man. I was just like, yo, and they wasn't doing nothing special. Like to me, I feel like they was doing the basics they always do, but they just couldn't be stopped. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, next one again, the college, man. You been watching any college this year?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. I definitely been tapped into to college football this year. Been up on most of it for the most part. So I'm just ready to talk about that. So what you ready to dive into on the college front?
Man, let's look at these games. I want you to tell me first of all who you got going for Heisman. Who's your Heisman favorite right now?
My Heisman favorite right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Uh, team.
my Heisman favorite, it was Travis.
hmm
It was Travis. But I think it might be that old dude in Tennessee right now. He might be the one. No, actually, let me take that back. Cam Ward. Cam Ward is my Heisman at the moment. So yeah,
hmm Yeah,
that's
and
my
that's
Heisman is Cam.
yeah. And Cam's everybody's Heisman right now. I mean, not everybody, but Cam is the favorites for the Heisman right now. No, do this, whatever. And you know, I like Cam Ward. I actually, be honest with you, I didn't know who he was. Like I've been following
Hmm.
Colorado. That's why when we got in the chat, and me and Todd were having so much conversation about Colorado and talking about this, talking about that. Like I was like, oh man, like all right, I see where I see his perspective on it. But I was like, man, I've been watching so much Colorado. Like I could probably make a whole channel talking about Colorado. I watch every game. I watch like I didn't because at first, and this is and not to get off topic, but at first like I wasn't even trying to. I didn't even like college football. Like we you know from Pittsburgh, so Pitt,
Mhm.
cool. Penn State, cool. But I didn't really watch too much college football. Man, last year when I watched Colorado beat TCU, I don't know what it was. I watched every single game. I was a fan in every game to watch. I started watching everybody talking about them. I started watching everything on YouTube. That's one reason I wanted to do this little stream or roundtables because we all have so many different perspectives on the game, and I'm
Mhm.
tired of listening to everybody else's, bro. Like on some real, like I'm
I
tired. I'm
feel
really
it.
like I'm tired of listening to other people's perspective on the game. I want to talk to my guys and talk about our perspective on the game. Have these conversations because it's just watching so much YouTube videos, watching so much content. It's starting to get annoying because I feel like especially with Colorado. I feel like there's people that criticize, right, and there's people that don't criticize. But I also feel like there's another aspect of there's people that hate on Colorado, and there's people that want to see them win. And I feel like there's
Mhm.
more haters than
Mhm.
guys that want to win. And that's why when me and Tyler were in a conversation, I was like, yo, bro, if you go back, because I don't want to talk in the chat unless I actually know what I'm talking about. I was like, yo, if you go back and watch the interviews, you can see that everything that he said they took out of context. And I was just like, he was just like, oh yeah. I was like, nah, bro, like on some real time. If you go and watch everything that he said, they took out of context. They used it against him. Like it wasn't what you thought it was. Well, I'm not
Mhm.
getting this. So I was trying to show him that. But my back to Cam Ward. Sorry, I'm off topic. I started watching Cam Ward from Shador Sanders, bro.
Mhm.
Him and Shador work out. They have the same quarterback coach, so they work out in the
Yeah.
summer together. Him, Cam Ward, and somebody else. I forgot the other dude's name. I forgot what quarter, whatever he was, but they had the same quarterback coach, so they work out in the summer together. And I remember Cam Ward was just talking shit to him. He's like, "Man, how many points, how many yards you had last year? Da-da-da-da. I had more to you." Da-da-da. I was like, "Who is this dude talking this smack?" I was like, "Yo." So I went and seen him, and I seen he transferred to Miami, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh yeah, Cam Ward's pretty good." Who like I've been following for a long time though that I'm really itching to see is Arch Manning, man. I've been watching his games, man. I'm like, yo,
Mhm.
bro. Quentin Ewers is still his team, but I'm ready to see Arch Manning go berserk,
Yeah.
man.
Living in Texas has been a thing with Arch Manning down here, man. I tell you
Hmm.
what, Arch Manning is
The mo- the
he's the
ho-
Messiah down here right
Messiah,
now,
yeah.
man. To be honest with you, like it ain't no game with him, man. But he's nice though. I mean, he shows the last few weeks he's definitely shown why he is who he is.
Hmm.
Um, especially with the arm strength, being able to be that fast too at quarterback, very athletic.
Hmm.
I know I know Quinn Ewers is probably on the sideline looking like he alright, you know what I mean, trying to hate a little bit.
Hmm.
He
Now
not
I don't think he's hating. I think the biggest thing about Quinn Ewers, like even Arch Manning said, it's Quinn Ewers' team. I think the biggest
hmm
thing about Quinn Ewers is they want to get Quinn Ewers to have the best season ever and get him up out of there because everybody's ready
hmm
for Arch. Like they're like, all right,
yeah.
Quinn, go ahead, play all the games you want, bro. Do whatever you want, break the records, get us to the national championship, do what you got to do so you can go to the league, bro. Because last year he wanted to go to the league, but he just there was no room for him.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't beating out the top quarterbacks that were taken. So
Yeah,
you
no.
know it is what it is. But I'm excited to see Arch play and stuff like that. I'm also more excited to watch this Colorado versus UCF to
hmm
Saturday. I keep thinking today is Friday. Oh, it's almost Friday.
Do they play
It's
them in Florida?
yep, in Orlando, Florida. Oh my God, it's going to be a movie. So I was watching it. There's going to be so many top recruits at this game that
hmm
the UCF flew out for recruiting.
hmm
And man, if I was a recruit, I would want to be there. You get to watch Door, Travis Hunter, be there around Deion Sanders, and also you get to watch UCF, do what they do.
hmm
So I'm like, man, this might be a time that Colorado could steal some recruits if they can beat UCF. Um, so
Yeah.
We'll
I
see if
think.
that happens. But UCF should win on paper.
Hmm.
But from watching the game, when we watching everybody's game and everything, it's like Colorado. So if you can't bet on them, like if you bet on
Hmm.
them, you're just bet money that you might lose. Like like you get, like some people like some games they're gonna win. Like this game is like it's a toss up. If
Hmm.
they do come out strong and win, I'm happy for them. They lose, it's all cool. They set themselves up last week from Baylor. And also I
Hmm.
want to do one again in last week's game too. Did you watch that game when Colorado played Baylor?
I did. I definitely did watch that game.
What did you think? From watching the whole game, you can give me a good, bad, the ugly, everything.
I mean, here's the thing with Colorado, right?
Mm,
Is that where they're not they got all the skill position talent in the world. They do,
mm,
even with all their transfers and the revolving door that they've had with that. The problem that is that they've had issues recruiting in the trenches, right? I
mm,
mean, of course they have Seaton, but
mm,
other than Seaton, even with their offense and defensive lines,
mm-hmm.
um, there hasn't really been much of anything for them to kind of like stand on, right?
Yep. Yep.
So their games are pretty much going to be they're going to live and die what happens in the trenches, right?
Uh huh.
And it kind of showed that like beginning of the game they were up, and then once the middle of the game happened, once the trenches kind of set in, Baylor
Mm,
took over, and I was like, oh, this is probably going to be a Baylor win.
mm,
Now there were a lot of things that were, for Colorado for them to come back, they showed a lot of grit coming back in those games and a lot of
mm,
heart. But and, really just leaning on their two superstars, really. You know what I mean? With Shador
mm-hmm.
and Travis. Travis being who he is, and Shador being very accurate. His accuracy helped them out in that game. But I guess we're all just here to talk about the Hail Mary and how that happened. Um, and that was, I mean, remember, a lot of people don't understand the play before that was the touchdown that dude dropped right before that.
Yep.
So,
Will Shepard. Yep.
yeah, he dropped right before that. And then I was like, oh, that was a game. If there was a chance, I was a game. And then to see that there was a second chance to that, crazy. And
And
and then the
yeah,
fumble with Travis Hunter at the end in overtime, couldn't. I mean, those are your two biggest stars coming up big at the end of the game. So
man, bro.
crazy.
Let me tell you this, man. I was drunk. Like I was at the couch. I was drunk as hell. I had to start sobering up by the end of the game. And I was at the point, you know how you watching the Steeler game sometimes you just turn the game off. I was really ready to turn the game off. Like, oh, they lost. Like I'm about to turn this bad boy off and
Yeah.
go and watch, do something else with my time because you're
Hmm.
wasting it, man. When I seen, and it's also like Dion gets a lot of flack from certain things, and he's not the best coach. I do see him learning as
Yeah,
he
he's
goes
learning.
each week and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Being better with clock management and stuff like that. And they did miss, like they should have stopped the clock when Lejonte Western caught the ball. Like it was like 10 seconds left or 2 seconds right before the Hail Mary. He caught the
Hmm.
ball right. He got the first down, but they didn't spot it. He saw it right below the first down. And on the fourth quarter, they had to do should know how to do a quarterback sneak to get
Hmm.
into to stop the clock, whatever.
Right.
And then I came up with the Hail Mary. From what I saw, he threw up a prayer. God answered it. Man,
Hmm.
I was watching his interview yesterday. He said, "Yeah, the Hail Mary." He's like, I just told the running back to, "Hey, man, I'm about to get chased. Just go out, block somebody." And he said when he started rolling, he said he just like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it to a spot." And he threw it to that spot, and LeJohn was able to make us play on the ball. But man, I don't want to give Baylor too much flack because I didn't want they shouldn't. I don't like watching the game.
Hmm.
They should have won this game.
Hmm.
I wasn't betting on Baylor. I was betting on Colorado. So I'm glad Colorado won. But Hail Mary at the end of the game, bro, you do not you like when it's 2 seconds left, and this is why I get irritated with some people about just a lack of IQ, bro. If there's 2 seconds left, nobody is on the defensive line. Like everybody should be at the end zone, relaxing, chilling there, bro. Everybody should
Yeah.
be down there. Like nobody
Yeah.
should none of your back should be you should be pressuring Shador. You should give him the much time as possible. Like what he gonna do? Like what he gonna do?
Yeah.
So I was just confused because the game's over regardless. So I was confused why they wasn't. there wasn't two people on each for each person, and they
Hmm.
had travels like triple team stuff like that. But you know, it is what it is. And then don't get a Shador the ball when it's overtime because that man's been showing us that as soon as overtime turns up, he's gonna try. He say Brady mode. He's gonna go get them to score. It's funny watching the overtime play. He ran the ball and they got like he got sacked. He told the office coordinator, he's like, hey, let's run the same play. Ran the same play and pushed bro in. I'm like, okay, bro, okay,
Hey, hey, man.
type shit.
Yeah, but that comes with experience. That comes with time. I mean, you gotta think, man. That boy, if there's anybody who's been bred for that position to, be at that highest level, has been Shador Sanders.
Hmm.
From him training with Brady, from having his father in his life, give him the best type. Even like you said, you've been studying him with his quarterback coaches. I mean, his quarterback coach is one of the best quarterback coaches even in the NFL. So
Hmm.
he's been afforded the opportunity to be able to turn out the way that he has, and he's taken all of this and made it into something. And I'm really happy for Shador Sanders. I truly
Hmm.
am. I think that if the draft started today, he would probably be the first quarterback taken. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'm really happy for him.
yeah, I'm at for it too. I don't know if he'll be the first quarterback taken. I know what you meant by that, but I feel as that he I feel like Quinn Ewers still has like a bigger case, and Beck has a bigger case. Like I would take Shador on a franchise standpoint to play football, but also for his name and likeness. Like you put Shador
Mm,
anywhere, he's a Sanders. Like you know that comes with it's so much money gonna be thrown around. So in that standpoint, I do pick. He's gonna be a first round pick regardless. And he's a baller too. But I feel like certain that whoever it depends on who has the number one pick in the draft. It depends on that team because if it's like it's first gonna be a bad team, but if they don't even have like one piece like on the chessboard, then it's gonna be hard for him to survive. He'll still survive though what he did with Colorado, but I don't know. I did never see. I want to see him play at that level when he'll get there, and we'll see. So hopefully we'll see some good things coming from
So
Shador.
you really think that Carson Beck? You think that he would be a better quarter? Because I just seen him play Kentucky, man, and I don't see
No,
Shador doing what that happened. And then now he got Alabama next week,
I
so I
don't.
don't.
My bad. Go ahead. I don't. And answer your
No.
question. I don't think he's a better quarterback than Shador, but watching how people watching the business behind college football and NFL football, like people like when the Giants passed on Dwayne Haskins, like he was supposed to be picked over Daniel Jones. You know what I mean? Like people
Hmm.
like these teams. I don't know what their metrics are, how they choose who's a good player, but for some reason they always try to pick somebody from one of these schools like Georgia stuff like that. Even though like we kind of know like all this dude can do is scramble, he really can't throw that much. But it's always a big push up for him to be like, oh yeah, he's the best this, he's the best that. But I'm watching him like, yo, he seems like a regular quarterback. He don't see nothing special about him. You know what I mean? So but yeah, I know I think that Shador is better than him, and he should go higher. But man, the whole it gets so what's the word it gets so not competitive. It gets whatever, but it just gets so complicated when the NFL is trying to get a quarterback because it's like they don't really pick like like I don't think Bryce Young ever went to the Panthers. Exactly. I didn't I knew he was a decent quarterback, but I like I said from the size and everything, I didn't think he was good enough to go to get drafted high. You know what I mean? But no, whoever's the executive, they know more than me, I guess. But
Mm,
he ain't play pan out. But it is
mm.
what it is.
Yeah,
But
because I'm just thinking about that QB class because I think it would be.
yeah, it's
I think he's better than Quinn Ewers. I think he's better
yeah,
than Quinn Ewers. I think he's better um,
stuff.
than Beck. You know what I mean? Only one that I think might give him a run for his money might be Cam. I think that might
Yeah.
be the only one that give him a run for his money is Cam Ward. But I still think, pound for pound is Shador. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
I just think his accuracy is just. And one thing you ain't gotta don't got to worry about Shador is about him being able to pinpoint a ball. I mean,
Yep.
I think the one thing that both of those quarterbacks have, him and Cam, they
Hmm.
hold the ball too long. But
Yep.
if I'm going to trust somebody who's going to hold the ball too long, I would trust the most accurate one, right? And
Yep.
I think that Shador has been the most accurate one, being able to read defenses, being able to manipulate defenses too.
Mhm.
I think Cam is getting there. I think Cam is getting a little bit better with that. I think
Mhm.
Cam is a better athlete, but
Mhm.
for what Shador already has as far as being a student of the game, it'd be hard pressed to see right now at this moment in time a quarterback in this draft better than him right now. So
Mhm.
yeah,
All right, let's talk fantasy football, man. Hey, how's your fantasy football team doing, man?
hurt.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, man, cause we're playing this. I'll play you this week, and I was like, at first it was like a 50-50, and then I looked at it, it was
Hmm.
like 78-22. I'm like, what's going on? And I went out. I was like, oh damn. All right, Tank Dell hurt. Rome Azumi, whatever, hurt. Joe Mixon hurt. I was like, what in the hell? And I was like, I looked at your bench. I was
Yeah.
like, oh okay. Austin Eckler out. Keenan Allen questionable. David Nakua questionable. I was like, bro, what is going on? And
Yeah, that's my whole team.
it's crazy because George Kittle was out last week. So after like my first loss, I stopped kind of following fantasy. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I might look at my team and see who's projected to make more points. I might just hit a couple players. When I see Kittle was out, I was like, oh, should I get another tight end? I was like, nah, if I lose, I lose. You know what I mean? Like you got to
Hmm.
rock out with the people you got because we're on this new app this year, and I don't really know how to work it all too well. So and it's
Hmm.
like our last app, the ESPN app, it was way easier for me.
Easier.
But now
Yeah.
it's a little learning curve for me on this Yahoo app because I'm like, yo, so this stuff don't look familiar. It don't seem like as simple as it should be. But you know, we're playing this week, man. I feel like the the last year we played when you should have beat me when Minka destroyed fucking what's his name, the running back for the Bears.
Was it
What's his name?
No, it wasn't Montgomery at the time. He was a
Nah,
he was a lion.
is Hub Shrub
Nick
running back
Chubb. Nick
Nick
Chubb.
Chubb. Yeah, Chubb.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Cleveland. For Cleveland.
Yep,
Yeah.
Cleveland. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah, and he came down and like we all know that was a dirty hit, bro. Like come on, bro. Like I
You
understand
thought
Minka was.
so?
I thought he was going low to like tackle his legs, but he didn't wrap. It was no wrapping involved. He just went down straight shoulder pad to his leg, bro. I felt it like me personally, my perspective. I felt like that was dirty. Like
Okay. Yeah,
his
I
his
didn't I didn't think it was dirty.
his face though he felt Minga felt bad about it. Like he didn't even play the next game. He was like, oh, I gotta recover from that because he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to injure nobody. Especially
Mm-hmm.
playing because this is your livelihood, your family. But I felt like and you only needed 1 yard to beat me or something like that because all my team played. And I was like, oh yeah, I lost. Literally, I
Yeah, I just needed 10
apologize.
yards. That's all I needed. And then he got
He was
hurt.
gonna
That
get
was
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
he got hurt.
how you
Yeah,
feel about your
well,
fantasy this year? You feel like you gonna make a comeback? Do you feel like
I just
you know?
depend on what happens with everybody being hurt, man, and how
Uh,
many losses I'm about to take. Because
mm,
sometimes it get a little ugly when you ain't got when everybody's taking, man. When everybody's
mhm.
taking, you try to make trades. Nobody wants to make a trade with you because they know they
Nobody
could
wants to
beat you.
trade. Yep. Yep.
So yeah,
And
nobody wants to make a trade. So
it's
kind of another
funny
thing.
too because if you propose a trade, it's like, man, bro, you don't know who's gonna like. If you propose a trade, like they might look at it, but they don't. It has to be. It has to be it has to be best for both parties involved. And I feel like sometimes people just trade people just to get them out there. Like earlier this year, I was going to trade Jamar Chase. I was like, yo, I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
told you
deal with
don't do
this.
that.
Yeah, you did. Only reason I was going to trade him is because I felt like either he's going to be decent, but he's not going to go all out this year because of the money situation. I just kind of was kind of following my gut. But then, like when I seen the market for what people were trying to give me, I was like, damn, everybody's giving me garbage for a good wide receiver. I was like, no, bro, I might as well keep him. You know what I mean? So. it is what it is.
Mhm.
Uh, coming up.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, fantasy gets a little tough around this part of time, especially whenever your team get hurt, because you don't want to rack up so many losses. But you, like right now, I feel like depending on how what next week might look, might be 1-3 for me. So, and then the first two games I had, it, teams came back on me, and because I had Puka Nakua first week
Hmm.
hurt. I only thing I needed him to do is have like three catches. That's all I needed him to have, and he was going to have
Hmm.
that. And he got
Uh,
hurt, and
yeah, he was dialing people up, bro. His route running, man. I don't know if he learned from Cup, but that man, he can ball.
and the thing with Puka though, even though he has really good route running, hard to
Uh-huh.
tackle,
Yep.
very hard to tackle.
But hey, man, I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer. I just want to have for the last like 5 10 minutes, whatever. What's your bold predictions for the NFL? This season. Like, what do you think? Who do you think is going to be that top team that's going to Super Bowl this year?
Top team that's going to the Super Bowl, I
Or
feel like is
let's make
the
it easier. NFC Championship, AFC Championship. What do you think of those top? Who do you think is going to be those top teams that's going to have a
uh
chance?
AFC Championship this year. I feel like this is the year of Josh Allen, right? I
Hmm.
just truly feel that way. Um,
Hmm.
but with that being said, though, it's also Mahomes' world until Mahomes decides it's not his world anymore.
It's a bad
So
boy.
yeah, I don't see anybody beating 15. So I it's gonna sound like a broken record, but I don't see anything happening with it. As long as the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Steve Spagnuolo, I don't really see anything being able to get them off of their game. I
Hmm.
don't see nothing. Um, but I do see Josh Allen being the one to scare the hell out of them. So
Mm.
I do see that. And I think Josh Allen, honestly, out of all the quarterbacks in the league, there's only two quarterbacks that scare me, and
Hmm.
it's Mahomes and Josh Allen. Those are the only two
Yep.
that scare me. I don't,
Yeah.
no other quarterback scares me though, like those two, because those are the two that can single handedly win you a game, like single handedly win you a game.
And to add on what you're saying too, because it's how they break down the game. They're not
Right.
thinking of the game as like, oh, I just gotta pass for this many yards. I gotta do this. They're like, whatever it takes to win. If I gotta run
Right.
this bad boy, I'm running. If I
I'm
gotta
running it.
pass it to check downs, I'm check downing. If
Yeah.
they give me a slither of space, I'm throwing it to my guy. Like
Hmm.
they're really ballers, man. You can just it resonates in their style of play and how they perceive the game, man. And I love watching it, man, because it's just you don't really see too much of that. Like what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And in the NFC, I still see the Niners being there. I just
Mhm.
there's too much talent on that team for that not to pan out.
Uh.
Especially whenever they get their full acclimate of players back together. I don't really see anybody. I still see the 49ers being there. But with that being said, uh, Minnesota looks really good. Man.
Mhm.
They look really good. Um, that defense up there is for real.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't think that style of football is going to go anywhere because they don't forget about running the ball either.
Mhm.
So I really think what they're doing up there in Minnesota is going to be good. But ultimately, I feel like it's going to be a rematch in the Super Bowl. It's going to be the Niners and Chiefs again.
Mhm.
Um, and I think the Chiefs may get three in a row. I really don't. It's hard for me to go against the holy trinity that is Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Steve Spagnuolo. It's really hard for me to go up against that because those guys, when they need stops, they know how to get stops. If they need a play, they got Michael Jordan. So they got LeBron. They got you know what I'm saying. They have that
Mhm.
in Mahomes and 15. 15 is
Yep.
that. You know what I mean? So and I think the
Yeah.
only dude, like I said, the only dude who got anything to, he got something to mess that up is 17, but
Mhm.
I still don't know if 17 got enough to do anything with 15 yet.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll definitely see. And Who's your bold predictions? Uh, okay, all right. Who you think's gonna win? Who you think's gonna win fantasy this year?
Fantasy football league.
Yeah, in our league. Who you think got?
Until my team got decimated in week two. I would say Chris. I think Chris got the best.
Chris.
I think Chris. Yeah, I think
Who?
Chris got the best team.
What's Chris's team now? Hold on, let me see his team.
I think Chris got the best team, man.
That's Warren. Oh, Chris Short. All right. Oh, okay. Let me see his team. Dak Prescott, Lave, Williams, Henry. Oh yeah, he got a good team.
Yeah, I
He
think
got a
that's
good
crazy.
team. Yeah, decent bench. He got a good team. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna watch out for Chris. I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
out for him. But, all right,
How
my guy.
about you?
Appreciate. Oh, for fantasy,
Hmm.
man. I don't like this man Todd, man, but Todd might win it again, man. He's just
Yeah.
been. It's like I feel like Todd be in my head, bro. I feel like he get my players that I want. I don't know why. Every year I have like a game plan of the players that I want, and Todd always takes them. I'd be like I was like, this year is gonna be a good year for for DK. It's gonna be a good year for McLaurin. I wanted DK or McLaurin, and I wanted ETN. I just wanted them, you know. And for some reason, he always grabs the players that I want. And then your brother took Travis Kelsey from me, which is cool. I told myself I wasn't because everybody thought I was grabbing Kelsey this year. I was like, nah, I ain't grabbing him this year because I had a chance to grab him like my first pick or my second pick, and you like grab him high. But I was like, man, let me go with George Kittle this year because the last 2 years I'm not gonna get. I don't. I just felt like I was getting so lucky with Travis Kelsey. But I like, man, I was like, yo, but George Kittle, he's a dog too. So I was like, yo, let me just try to run with him and see how he goes. Cause I was like, I changed up my whole strategy this year. I went straight
Hmm.
strategical, man. I didn't go about anybody that I truly, I like all the players that I have, but I didn't go anybody that was truly like, man, that I had last year. I was trying to go for new people and try to figure out a new scheme because
Hmm.
just change it up. Why not? I mean, you got money on the line, but and nothing's guaranteed, man. These people can get hurt tomorrow, and I can lose. So it is
Yeah.
what it is.
I mean, look at my team. I mean, just
Yeah,
my whole team decimated in two in 2 weeks. Literally 2 weeks.
yeah. But it's hard. But it's so hard because there's not even no players available. Even their backups, people already took their backups. It was
Yeah,
like
man.
it's like what can
Yeah.
you do? Like
Yeah.
the running back for when Debo Samuels got hurt, the backup running back, whatever his name is, I was trying to get him and somebody already had him. I was like, bro, how did y'all
Yeah,
get
Mike.
these boys?
I think Mike picked him up.
Yeah, I think yeah. I was like, bro, how did he
Yeah,
get?
Mike
How did
picked
you
him up.
even pick him up? But
Yeah,
it is what it is.
waiver wire bandits.
Yeah, we gotta get back on and have another call, man.
For sure.
After the weekend, man, talk about all the predictions that we made. Look back at this video and everything. I think I'm gonna edit this bad boy and then just throw it out. Put some short stuff. Just play around with it. This is not for fun.
Yeah.
I just want to get more technical into stuff that I'm doing and just start playing around with stuff because I'd be bored, bro.
Do your
I
thing,
mean,
big dog.
I'm in school and stuff like that, so I'm studying and working and everything. But I like to just play around with stuff. So I want to get all the guys here and have everybody. We got a good group of guys, man. That I want to hear all the perspective from from everybody how they feel about their season, how they feel about the teams and stuff like that. Too. So we
For
gotta
sure.
get more guys on next time. But you
Yeah,
know,
man.
I'm cool with just me and you too, so it don't matter to me.
Nah, I mean it don't matter to me. That I mean, it's honestly just it give me a second to kind of connect with y'all. Especially being this far down south, give me a
Mhm.
moment to hang out with the fellas. So,
Yes, sir. All right, my guy. Appreciate you having you, and I'll let you know what's coming up next, and then we'll hop back on the call.
all right, fam, bam.
All right.
All
Later.
right, bro.